Hey people, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel, back from my 16th suspension on YouTube. Guys, thanks for being part of the channel, liking and subscribing and getting the word out. Well, thank you for your calls, your emails, your Instagram messages, your Facebook messages, the amount of people that are worried they haven't seen me in a while. What's happened? Am I okay? Am I still here? Yes, I was suspended from YouTube from a video that was made back in 2019. And then I got targeted for a sexualization video. I don't even know what that means. So let's take a look and see what's going on. And if you don't know yet, we are on Rumble. Go to Rumble and Odyssey and I'll show you guys how to find that. Go over there. You'll find where we are when we do Mike in the Night. And we've been doing Mike in the Night like clockwork since 2016, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So this is the strike I got basically from a video I made back in October 2019. Content, unfortunately, it violates medical misinformation policy. So there it is right there. And that was October of 2019 of a live stream that I did. Now, a few days after, I had this community guidelines for viewers under 18 for community guidelines. As a result, we've age restricted your video. So U.S. government freezes American bank withdrawals, U.S. debt limit ceiling in serious trouble. 1 hour and 28 minutes in. And it's basically about sexualization here. And it's visible sexualization. So there's no, so you go to the timestamp here and you go over here. I don't know what they're talking about. There's nothing. I'm just plugging my, I went through the whole video. I don't know what they mean by, so it says here what we could do next, and that's why it has been deemed as 18 and over. And so we could see an example right there. There's nothing to do with the with what they're accusing me of doing. And you can watch the video there. It is U.S. government will freeze American bank withdrawals, U.S. debt limit ceiling in serious trouble. And it's something we've been warning you guys about for years. Now, who am I? Well, here I am. There I am right there. There's my subscriptions are going down. And there's my videos, 4,700 videos. And YouTube has taken down an incredible amount of videos, an incredible amount of work I did, especially in the 2012, 2013, 2014 era. And I can prove it to you here. You go to my Odyssey channel. There's my Odyssey channel there. And it was created pretty much a year ago. And there's my total uploads, 5,482 videos. You go back here, 4,700. So you could see where this is happening. Now, you could find, you go to the About section, you could find our website here, realmikemartins.com. Or you could find our Rumble, and there's other, just go to realmikemartins.com, you'll find everything. But on Rumble, you could find us. The link will be up here on the top right of the channel if you're on a desktop, if you want to catch the last episode of Mike in the Night. So let's proceed to the external link. It looks like this. You could subscribe there and be part of that channel. And our last episode of Mike in the Night was such a good one. We had so many good callers call in and voice their opinions from all over the Commonwealth. And what is it? What's going on? Why are they after me? Pre-COVID. Anybody that's a pre-COVID channel that's been warning people about this and the upcoming situation, there's not too many people anymore in existence on YouTube that are pre-COVID, that actually have been giving the signs out, warning people what is happening, how it's happening, how would it affect them, right? So when the whole world was in protest back in September 28, 2019, the whole world was in protest with no confidence in government. This climate change, that's full stop. I'm talking, it's everywhere, it's on front pages, it's what they're feeding us. So they were feeding us climate change for people protesting around the world, no confidence in government. The funny part of this one is that a lot of people are actually buying this hook, line, and sinker. But what is the real thing? Like, there's something so big in the works. Either it's a real big hot war that's going to wipe out a percentage of us. Either they're going to pull the trigger on a mass pandemic, or it's going to be something. And I think... And it was something. And then a few weeks later, we did a follow-up video. Mike in the Night 228, they'll pull the trigger on a pandemic, worldwide riots, world burns. And there it is right there. So basically, it was a follow-up. Mark my words, as I said in previous episode of Mike in the Night with the Raven, they will pull the trigger on a pandemic. But the amount of people watched that other episode of Mike in the Night saying, your accountability or your any respect I had for you went right out the window when you said they were going to pull the trigger on a pandemic. Who the hell will believe any of that? And basically, I was making predictions, but a lot of these post-COVID channels weren't, these people that came after COVID that are the COVID heroes now or whatever they are, they weren't warning people about this stuff coming up. They were doing other types of videos, and they're still now, but it's all I'm seeing as controlled opposition. If anyone's on YouTube that is saying it how it is, they're 100% controlled opposition, no questions asked, no debates. I hint on something, I get shut down. I say something that has nothing to do with anything, I'm sexualizing. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They're always after me for some reason. So we have this very well documented. So there it is right there. The whole world was burning. And this is something that we were very vocal about on the channel. Food shortages, riots everywhere. And this is something, you know, you could go here, you could see all kinds of, there's Hong Kong, there's Libya, and then there's Chile, Argentina. No confidence in governments. And no confidence in governments, but they were blaming it on climate change. And who am I? Well, here you go. Type in inflation across my channel, and we were warning people. Wages not keeping up with inflation, housing out of reach, a working poor society ahead in the West. Let me see if I can find something here. Here. Double-digit inflation on the way. Rates stay the same. Brace yourselves. Buy and stock food 5 years ago. Pow and the Kisser. How they don't mention the housing prices. And we've been talking about inflation, get the taste of inflation. We must raise interest rates to curb inflation. Economy headed for a dramatic collapse. Prepare now. 5 years ago. They should have raised rates 5 years ago to correct this mess. Now they're raising rates when housing even went higher and out of reach. Rate hike. Type in rate hike. Rate hike takes nation by surprise. Canadians wake up to a rude awakening in understanding inflation 5 years ago. Crazy Canadian housing finally corrected. Interest rates hiking, correcting Vancouver housing. And there it is. Small rate hike. Here's what a $1 million mortgage 5 years ago. 5 years ago. We were warning you guys about this for so long. And Australian investors, we've been talking about California, we've been talking about Seattle, Oregon. We've been talking about all these things that are happening. And what else did we talk about? Food prices. Look, price of food out of control. At this rate, people can't buy food by 2020. People will be priced out of food. People will be priced out of food by 2023. Foodflation, as foodflation takes off. Price of food has surpassed my rent 7 years ago. Food prices spiking near a city near you. They can't hide the inflation anymore. People will starve by 2022. And price of oil dropped, but the food prices go up. Foodflation 7 years ago. So there it is right there. It's 5 years ago. We've been talking about this and warning people. Money laundering. Oh my God. Canada will be in a recession without money laundering. Canada's GDP needs more money laundering. And we've been very vocal about money laundering. Middle class being wiped out. Will be wiped out by 2018. Money laundering destroying young families. Was that 5 years ago? So it's something we've been 6 years ago. Toronto housing severely unaffordable. Young families leaving Toronto. So this is something we've been very vocal about. And Toronto's dying. Toronto mass exodus, they will tax you to death 4 years ago. Vancouver mass exodus, young families leaving 4 years ago. Toronto housing is the biggest bubble in the world. Mass exodus ahead. Rest in peace, middle class. Nobody even watched those videos 5 years ago. We can keep going here. Look, we called the snap election 10 months before they called the snap election. The Liberal government will call a snap election and win. And this was 10 months before they called the snap election. And you know how many people were messaging me, telling me, you're out of your mind. What are you talking about? They'll never call a snap election in the middle of a pandemic. And they did. And the Liberal government won. And I told you guys it was going to happen. I made that very clear. Because the whole mail-in ballot system and everything. And that's how they got everybody. So, guys, don't forget to, if you want to watch, I get so many people messaging me where to find Mike in the Night, Rumble, and we are on Odyssey. And if you want to find all the links, go to realmikemartins.com. So there it is, Rumble. We're not, we're just on Rumble, but we have to bring our people over. We're not getting any promotion like the post-COVID channels are. We're not getting anything on there. So we have to bring our people over to watch Mike in the Night. Getting organic traffic on Rumble. It's mainly Rumble has their agenda and their business platform, and they want to push their people, like their heroes, like to the top. A lot of them are all post-COVID anyway. A lot of the pre-COVID channels that existed that were making videos before COVID were eating a sandwich and then showing you what was in the toilet. Because I looked up some of these big heroes today. Not today, a few days ago, a week ago. Who are these people? I've never heard of these people before. I go back and look at what they were talking about, if they even had a channel pre-COVID, and it was nothing to do with what they're talking about today. And again, it is what it is, and that's okay. It is what it is, and I just hope my word got out. I just hope people heard what I had to say, or people understood what my message was all these years. And I just hope I made a difference as much as humanly possible, and I just hope that it was all worth it. You know what I'm saying? In the end. So, anyways, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Get over to Rumble and subscribe to me there, please, and realmikemartins.com, where you can find all the information you need, and we'll go from there. And I hope you guys could come and join us on Rumble for Mike in the Night, 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we could take your call in, connecting the dots across the Commonwealth, doing a call-in show. Oh, actually, our first call-in show was 2012, but it was Mike in the Night became a thing back in 2016, and we do our yearly prediction shows, and I've been trying so hard, and I really hope to God that something gives of this, where at least I could say I did it, or I've been vocal about everything. Everything you're seeing today surfacing on papers has already been very in-depthly discussed on Mike in the Night on Odyssey, but unfortunately, we're just so hard to find on there too. So, anyways, guys, I just wanted to say hi, and I'm back from my 16th suspension. Thanks for being part of the channel, liking, subscribing. Mike Martins, I have spoken.